Chapter 2 of Volume 18. After finishing this battle, we will get married. LV 4. Strength, SS 1033 to SSS 1379. Durability, SSS 1218 to 1501. Dexterity, SS 1041 to SSS 1383. Agility, SS 1089 to SSS 1442. Magic, S 965 to SSS 1251. My goddess and I looked at the updated ability score, the ultimate skill value of LV, for without saying a word. Mr. Bell. I am here. The goddess still looked at the status sheet that the two of them were holding, and said thoughtfully, while I was still naked from the upper part of my body, sitting upright with a straight face. How hard were you beaten at Freya's? You were beaten so hard, then you creaked, and finally your whole body was disfigured. No, when it comes to moments, the cruelest to some extent, the deep level is even more powerful. But this hell has lasted a long, long time. In that sense, this baptism is better. After I responded at a lack of words, my goddess didn't say anything else. Instead, she closed her eyes and hugged me generously, just like seeing a child returning from war. Her hands went around my back, stroking the back of my head lightly. It's the same for me, although my face is buried in Goddess Sama's abundant chest, but I still have a serious expression. After the two let go, the goddess let out a huge sigh. Haha. I'm so sorry, Belkuan. You were thrown into a terrible place, but I couldn't rescue you. I'm still suffering from the end. There is no such thing. Did not my goddess come to save me? Mr. Hermes and Miss Asphi told me that to release the enchantment imposed on the city, they did everything they could. People like me can't take care of ourselves, so I couldn't do anything about that charm until the end. My goddess and the others managed to break it, which is really powerful and no doubt took a long time. So I lifted my face and said my true thoughts to Hestia-sama, whose shoulders were slumped in depression. Back then, when you gods rushed down from the sky to save me, I was so happy. I looked into her eyes and said word for word, and then Goddess Sama's pupils trembled as if she was deeply moved. Then her hands circled around my body again, and she hugged me, calling, Mr. Bell. I was buried between the soft breasts, and in embarrassment effect, I even blushed up to my ears this time. After a while, the goddess released me, wiped the corners of my eyes a few times with her arm, and then looked back at the status sheet in her hand. But, that rate of increase is really impressive, really. Freya seems like a sadist when she says she wants you, but she intimidates you so much. It must be true. Ahaha. Goddess Sama. She complained to the absentee in a sharp and aggressive tone. Perhaps, thanks to the fact that it was updated by other people, it also made her very angry now. Or perhaps it contained a display of anger from a self that was powerless at the time. Thanks to that, I can't say that. Skill points, increased a lot all at once. Ah. You are already very powerful when you come back from the deep level, and now you are even stronger. The proficiency boost value exceeded 1600 in total. And there are more than one SSS, and the skill value assessment is also amazing. Recalling the fight in the desert from morning till night, I was temporarily immersed in an indescribable emotion. Then, I met Goddess Sama's gaze. So, my goddess. Yes. Let's update, now, Mr. Bell. As he spoke, his goddess seemed to say that all was ready. She tapped my back sitting on the bed with her index finger. It was a sensation as if the depths of the heart, where the soul is found, had been touched. Her back became the surface of the water and the silent ripples gradually spread over her entire body. I feel this fantasy. After that kind of fantasy, squeak. The sacred text, engraved on it released heat like burning. The unprecedented feeling made me hold my breath. During this period of time, my goddess wrote the sublimated, skill value, on another upgrade paper. Bell Cranel. LV 5. Strength, I0 durability, I0 dexterity, I0 magic, I0 luck, F abnormal resistance, G escape, IG combo attack, I. Magic. Firebolt. Asterisk quick attack magic. Ability. Hero's wish. Asterisk it is possible to store energy for active actions. Ox Slayer. Asterisk when fighting bull-type enemies, the total capacity will be greatly increased. Antimelanite Venadis Tevere. Asterisk virgin protection. Asterisk activated when invaded by the charm effect. The total capacity value has increased significantly. Asterisk continuous recovery of physical strength and mental strength. Congratulations, Mr. Bell, you are level 5. My goddess said, and handed me the updated paper at the same time. As there is only one slot, of course no new magic will be discovered. The newly appeared skill is also a logical anti-charm special type. If the conditions are met, it should be pretty powerful, but this wargame probably won't involve you. The development capability that comes with Ascension is the combined attack. I remember Miss Ina told me about the guild information that the more attacks in a row, the greater the power, which is a valuable attack skill. However, this information is just small details. The most important thing is that number dancing on the paper. Level 5. Even if I'm just an adventurer, I can understand what the number 5 stands for and how much weight it supports. Bell Cranel became a first-tier adventurer. The strongest battle force that the Labyrinth City is proud of, I successfully climbed into it and reached the last stand. I finally got to this point. Now that I extend my hand, I should be able to reach the back. Obviously yes. Originally, this achievement was enough to get me excited, but I still look nervous now. Goddess Sama probably thinks the same way. The goddess Hestia, who conveyed the congratulatory message, also pursed her lips and said nothing. Goddess. What is the problem? Do you think I can get along with you? Fighting on equal terms with Freya Familias, adventurers? This is counting the savings before, update. As if trying to catch a ray of hope, I ask the other person what they think about being the main god. I'm not the god of battle. So I can't be as specific as Takamikazuth. But. The goddess was silent for a moment, and then she said. You can't compete with the Freya family. I don't think the god's judgment is cruel. Because I myself feel this irrefutable fact. The number 5 shows how much I've accomplished but makes me feel so untrustworthy. LV 6 and LV 7. What we are about to present is this kind of stronger, beyond imagination. What should I do? In the sea of words, Lily sighed. In the base library, countless parchments were scattered all over the floors and tables. This is all faction information related to Freya Familia. Welf huddled in the workshop to make the magic sword, while Mikoto and Haruheim went to take in Aisha to polish their skills as much as possible. Everyone is preparing for the war game and doing what they can. As a faction officer, Lily also collected as much enemy intelligence as possible. At the same time, with the help of Ina, who belongs to the guild, she got all the materials possible. However, it's too strong. There's nothing you can do. The more you read and analyze, the more you will be hit with the word despair. The huge disparity in combat power cannot be compensated for. The two are more than a dog and a lion. It's like ants and dragons. I thought I already knew what strongest in town meant, but now, Lily finally had a concrete feeling. The current family has a total of 157 members. Between non-combatants and believers, there are more than 5,000 people. Needless to say, the strength of the first-tier adventurers, there are also a large number of second-tier adventurers. Especially the healers, their number ranks first among the families belonging to Ororio. Just looking at the numbers listed above made Lily feel a little nauseous. Rather, even looking at the total number of Tier 3 and Tier 4 ranked second-tier adventurers, it makes people want to pack up and run away for the night. There is a simple way to compare the difference between the Freya Familia and the Faction Alliance. If the Freya Familia is disbanded, these people will be enough to establish 20 hardcore factions. Also, in addition to these second-tier adventurers, the first-tier adventurers. A super short corner bombardment can destroy the bottom-tier monstrous feast. Don't kid around. For familiar, information leakage of magic and skill is fatal enough. Therefore, the guild also recognized his hidden family's lifeline. Therefore, a note must be added to the data collected by Ina. This is just a rumor heard from the team and adventurers, and it is a coarse skill. But even this, approximately, content is enough to dispel Lily's fighting spirit. The large-scale barrage that makes people doubt the concept of magic swordsmen and the powerful artillery fire. It is said that only 4 people can master the war game, the combination of the little ones. Vanna Freya, who overtook the wolf and easily won the title of fastest in town. And their instinct is said to have been displayed several times in the dark period. If they were still hiding a killer letter, then, as the commander, Lily could only pass out on the floor. Insufficient manpower. The shortage is even desperate. From the very beginning, I knew very well that there was a gap in strength between the Hestia family and the Freya family. But even so, what's really frightening is that even more so with the fighting power of the goddess of the forge, our side has no chance of winning right now. She discovered. Even the instant death attack drama staged in Goddess of Sacrifice was the result of mercy. Although we have to plan a battle, but what should we do? Facing the overwhelming gap in basic combat power, her thoughts kept spinning in the same place, whispering the same words as before. Daphne and Cassandra are helping refine the recovery medicine and cure-all, but even with their wisdom, Lily doesn't think there's any hope. Instead, Daphne might be holding her head right now, planning to run away into the night. Lily's face lost all color. To subvert this situation, it must be the Supreme Commander, who has a higher focus than Lily and the others, supports. Just as Lily was slipping the dividing line between reality and despair, Hestia ran towards the library, as if she was about to kick the door open. Goddess Hestia. What's the matter? Hello. It's been a long time, but it's not a big deal. Lilaruka Artie, with a raised hand, a golden-haired fellow entered the room. Finn, Mr. Finn. She asked the main god what's going on with her eyes, but Hestia just shook her head vigorously. It seemed that this really was a surprise visit without prior appointment.